Welcome back to the channel, everybody. About a week ago, I said John Bolton will be indicted pretty quick. I said probably in the next week or two is what I'm seeing on several different sites. And sure enough, today we're finding out the results of that speculation. Now, this morning about 10 o'clock, the grand jury went into deliberations to discuss the possible charges and to read over the transcripts to decide if this man deserved to go to prison, deserves to be indicted, deserves to be judged before a jury of his peers. And the truth to be known, we all know John Bolton sat there with his yellow notepad and took notes about national security issues, and then went and wrote a book about it, trying to trash Trump and sell books. Not long after Trump fired him, and at this point, I personally can't prove that he betrayed the country, but I personally believe he's a traitor. He's done some treasonous action, and probably pretty easy to prove at this point if you're, say, a Cash Patel or a Pam Bondi type, because this guy bragged about it. He wrote books about it. He wrote a book about it. He took home yellow binders of information, yellow notepads of information that God knows he didn't have the he shouldn't have the opportunity to take with him. And so I was just curious as to what all charges they could throw at him. What all charges will they throw at him? Will they do things like fraud, espionage, mishandling of government documents? I mean, there's a whole slew of possible things they could get him for if he's mishandling government government data of any kind, especially if he doesn't have clearance to be taking it home, stuff like that. That's where they can really get you. That's what they come after Trump for, of course. But let's go ahead and get into it. This is the 10 a.m. this morning drop of what's fixing to happen to John Bolton. Then we'll play the next clip, which is time to get paid. And then you got Trump with his weigh in on it as well. All right, folks, let's get into it.
Good morning. We believe that prosecutors are presenting charges under the Espionage Act accusing John Bolton of mishandling classified information. That comes after the FBI secured search warrants to search his home and office and found some classified documents in that search. But it's not clear that those were related to what this case is about. The affidavit of probable cause also mentions that John Bolton's email account had been hacked by a foreign government, and the referral for this case came from the CIA, and it's my understanding that the U.S. found some information as they were gathering intelligence from that foreign government. They found John Bolton's emails, essentially, and they discovered things that led them to be suspicious that he was mishandling classified information, and that's what generated this case. This was back in the Biden administration. However, that Justice Department did not move forward with the case. There were some concerns about revealing the access that the U.S. had to the foreign government. The Trump administration made a different calculation. They are moving forward with the case. Of course, everyone knows that John Bolton is a political adversary and critic of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump has said, he does not appreciate John Bolton at all. There was a dispute about a book that John Bolton wrote. The Trump administration, the first Trump administration, accused him.
All right, enough of MSNBC, but they really couldn't say nothing good about John Bolton at this point. But I believe it is going to be probably pretty easy to indict. The grand jury will indict. He will be true-billed, and he will be sentenced to some form of probation or a fine. Hopefully some jail time. Let's get him on those traitorous, treasonous jail time charges. Conspiracy to defraud Trump of his rights. That's what I believe is going on. Now, here we go, folks. It says, by the way, if y'all don't know, Mitch McConnell took another spill today, and I wish that man would just go home and retire. I really hate to say that, because we need the votes, but he needs to retire. Anybody that can't stand up at work, keep falling down because they're too old, too dilapidated, having health problems, get a wheelchair or stay home or something. I mean, if you're 80-something years old and you're still working and you're filthy rich, what is wrong with that picture? All right, folks, I found my goggles here. So this is a story has been updated. Earlier, it was just an indictment, or it was just a suspected indictment coming, considering the grand jury was deliberating. And now, as of 4:20 p.m., Elizabeth McDonald from Fox News Business Network tweeted out that John Bolton was just indicted. The indictment includes 8 counts of transmitting national defense information, and 10 counts of unlawfully retaining NDI, national defense information. So what happened is probably he was passing information back and forth on his computer to these foreign nations and got caught. And the obvious scapegoat answer is I must have been hacked. Says according to the DOJ, if convicted, the defendant faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison for each count. Ouch. Of unlawful retention of the NDI and a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison for each count of the Oh, so they could give him potentially about 200 years. That's enough. Just give him a light sentence. Just give him about 80 years. We'll be good. Says, federal grand jury has just indicted John Bolton over taking classified U.S. secret developing. Says an update, an indictment or indictments were returned to the court. No names were announced. A red folder that could contain arrest warrants was handed to the judge by Sullivan, the lead prosecutor. There's old John Bolton, ex-Trump national security advisor, fired by Trump. John Bolton is officially indicted. Says the FBI investigation revealed that John Bolton allegedly transmitted top secret information using personal online accounts and retained said documents in his house in direct violation of the federal law. The case was based on meticulous work from dedicated career professionals at the FBI who followed the facts without fear of favor. Weaponizing of justice will not be tolerated, and the FBI will stop at nothing to bring to justice anyone who threatens our national security. Well, Mike Davis just said the other day, and he's one of the people that's in the know, Article 3 Project Mike Davis. He said just a couple of days ago, I put it up on my channel as one of the clips. He said, we've got indictments that shall be coming for everybody involved. We're talking Obama, Hillary, John Bolton, Clapper, Brennan, the whole deep state apparatus that was controlling all the three-lettered agencies that were obviously on Team Obama. Says that was the FBI's actual statement. Just in as we were awaiting the official indictment for former National Security Advisor John Bolton related to classified info handling, 4 men appearing to be prosecutors or FBI agents just arrived in the Fed court in Greenbelt, Maryland, and entered the grand jury room at lunch. Now, that was earlier today. They were play-by-play over there on Twitter. Now, we do know that he has been indicted. So we got James Comey indicted. We got James Comey, John Bolton, Letitia James. Who's next, folks? Who's next? I don't know. How about Merrick Garland, Mayorkas, Clapper, Brennan, Obama? Let's go ahead and do that bolo on that conspiracy to defraud Trump of his rights. That'll be the good one. Round up about 50 or 100 on that one.
Just indicted by a grand jury in Maryland. Do you have a reaction to that?
I didn't know that. You told me for the first.
Hold on, folks. Uh-oh. Let me back up. I didn't like the way that video was framed. Let me back up and fix it. Bear with me, if you will. Alright, let me scroll down. There we go. There we go. Now, what did Trump have to say about John Bolton's indictment today?
Just indicted by a grand jury in Maryland. Do you have a reaction to that?
I didn't know that. You told me for the first time, but I think he's, a bad person. I think he's a bad guy. Yeah, he's a bad guy. It's too bad, but That's the way it
Reviewed
goes.
the case against him?
That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it goes. Will I what?
Have you reviewed the case against him?
No, I haven't. I haven't. But I just think he's a bad person. Okay, anybody else?
Sounds like do your job, FBI. He's a bad person. He does need to go. He should no longer have a security clearance, which was taken from him a while back. When that all the people that got their security clearance revoked for their Russia collusion, bad actor activity, those people are probably on the chopping block for several things, including indictments. I want to see the subpoenas and the indictments fly. I really do, folks. I am ready, ready, ready. All right, folks. I had one more thing I wanted to show y'all. This was just the first part of a Victor Davis Hanson clip, and because I thought it was so accurately true. I mean, I don't always listen to this guy, but sometimes he says something that's just really profound. And I won't play you the whole video clip, but Victor Davis Hanson just tells the truth about what happened, what Trump did.
Donald Trump's greatest legacy, he broke the Democratic Party. Donald Trump's greatest legacy, he broke the Democratic Party. And he exposed it for what it was. It was a bicoastal elite party with a bunch of billionaires who spend lavishly and a bunch of subsidized poor and a professional class that feels frustrated. They make $200,000 and $300,000 a year, but they live in these blue cities that are very expensive and they can't buy their beautiful home. That's what the Mondami constituency is: frustrated young white professionals. And then they've lost the working class. They've lost. It's not just they have lost the muscular classes, Hispanic muscular classes, black males, white. As I said before, if you look at 2016, 20, and 24, Donald Trump's white vote, it's pretty constant. And he did not win the popular vote in 2016 or 2020. And his voting, and yet he did win the popular vote and the Electoral College in 2024 with the same percentage and actual numbers of white voters.
Point of the matter is Trump come in like a beast in 2024, and we won because we made it too big to rig. Enough people showed up, and he's just giving the facts as to where the numbers are, as to what ethnicity of people Trump was able to pull in over the eight-year period from his first presidency to his start of his second presidency. But I think he's right. I think the Democrat Party got broke I think Trump broke the Democrat Party when he come in 2024. In 2016, he had them rattled, and they didn't know how to deal with it. So they sicked the deep state on him. And now Trump is still fighting the deep state, but he's got a great team working with him this time to help combat a lot of this crap that's going on, including people like Stephen Miller, who are fighting the lawfare from the Democrats. So he's got A1, probably never been a better team in American history of great patriots running our country. Executive branch is awesome at this point. I couldn't pick, there's only a handful of people I could even think of that need to be in that cabinet. The rest of them are already there. That's what I got for you today, folks. Tell me, do you think in the comment section below, have the Democrat Party been destroyed by Donald Trump, and that's why they're so vicious, because they have lost their way with their attempt to sell the lie? Well, Trump exposed them. Fake news started there. Everybody have a great day. See you tomorrow. Like, subscribe, and share.